Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. And again, what an amazing morning it's been. I mean, we just had on Dan Tyre, sales director, $300 million HubSpot marketing. Absolutely amazing. So let's talk about, well, our next hero. And by the way, thank you for the feedback we continue to get from having the U.S. Congressman Barry Goldwater Jr. on. He'll also be attending a number of our Eliances experiences, so you make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Well, let's talk about our next hero. He is trademarked as the, you ready for this? Pit bull of personal development and the world's only irritational speaker. He holds no barred approach, is recognizable all over the world. Larry Winget. You could reach him at LarryWinget.com. That's Larry Winget.com. And of course, it'll be on our website, Eliances.com. All right, Larry. Now, why are you called the pit bull of personal development?
You know, I believe that most people in the self-help world are pretty much toothless poodles. And I'm the pit bull. I have one idea that I grab onto and hang onto, and that's that life's your own damn fault. And you have to take responsibility for it.
Now, you know, I've heard you speak a few times, and absolutely amazing. I mean, you really drive it. You know, you hold no bars. You go right into it and tell it like it is. But how does all of this come to be? What inspires you to be able to come up with really what's going to take place?
You know, somebody the other day, a friend of mine, his wife described me, and she said, Larry, I just get this feeling from you that you're profoundly disappointed with all of us. And I think that's where it all comes from. I am so profoundly disappointed with the stupidity of people, the lack of character, lack of core values, lack of common sense. And so that drives everything that I do and everything that I say these days.
In fact, let me wait till you hear the titles of these books. He's the author of 6 New York Times, Wall Street Journal bestsellers that have been translated into over 20 languages. All right, so listen to some of these titles. Shut Up, Stop Whining, and Get a Life. The next one, You're Broke Because You Want to Be. Another one, it's called Work for a Reason. And People Are Idiots, and I Can Prove It. And Your Kids Are Your Own Fault, and Grow a Pair, and so many more. Make sure you can go to Amazon.com and probably all over to be able to buy these books. So talk to us about what's the new book you've got coming out.
One I just released called What's Wrong with Damn Near Everything. It's about the collapse of core values and how that's destroying us.
Tell us more about that book.
You know, I really have written all these books, these last 6 bestsellers, about what's wrong and what people can do to fix it. I have great ideas on how you can handle your money better, how you can be a better parent, how you can run your business better. I'm good at telling people exactly what's wrong and what they need to do to fix it. And then I realized after selling a few million books and being translated into 20 languages, people don't do any of that stuff. You can't make bad people do good things.
Tell us a couple secrets about how to raise kids.
There are no secrets. First of all, there are no secrets, anything. It's all been around for a good long while. The best way to raise good kids is communicate, educate, set high expectations, teach them how to deliver those expectations, require some disciplines within your home, and then know that there is a certain element of punishment involved or consequences. Punishment is a consequence for getting what you want and for not getting what you want.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Heroes Show. Go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Because we've got Larry Winget, speaker, author, and pitbull of personal development. You could reach him at LarryWinget.com, and that's LarryWinget.com. Pretty much, Larry, you tell it like it is.
I believe I do. I think I'm the biggest straight shooter in the business, that's for sure.
Now, of all of these books, which was maybe the most difficult one you think to write for you, or were any of them?
No, none of them are really very difficult. I look at what's going on in the world and what really ticks me off, and that's the topic of my new book. Every single time I figure out what ticks me off at the time, that's what I go for. And, when I first started, what ticked me off was, and the reason I wrote Shut Up, Stop Whining, and Get a Life was what ticked me off were all the stupid motivational speakers out there telling people lies about what it took to be successful. I mean, you can't have a positive attitude and be successful. That's the dumbest idea in the history of mankind. You got to get negative attitude to become successful. You got to say, I'm not going to live like this anymore. You got to get negative about the way you've been living your life. So I took on all the motivational cliches at the time because it made me mad. And that's why I wrote that book. And the same way with all my other books. What makes me mad determines what I write.
Now, what do you have for advice then for people that are in a slump, that have a hard time maybe getting out of bed, going to work, going to the grind, or maybe they've got a business and, something happens, because eventually something does happen. And It's like, you know what? Do I really want to do what I'm doing right now? What advice do you have for them?
Well, first of all, I would tell people just suck it up. And I know I get a lot of pushback on that suck it up, but we've become this society where we are indulging every little emotion. I don't feel like doing it, so I won't do it. Life is about doing what you don't feel like doing all the time. So I don't feel like doing this today. I could be home sitting, having a bourbon, smoking a cigar, and playing with my grandkids or something. But here I am because I made a commitment. So people need to get back to their commitments, get over their emotions, and do what they need to do in order to achieve the life they want. You can't sit back and say, it's not working out for me because, I just don't like doing it.
So at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to write a book about all this?
I figured if you could say it, you could write it. And if you could write it and are a pretty good salesperson, you could probably turn it into a bestseller. It's a very simple thing for me to do.
You also, too, have a podcast, How to Be a Real Man.
Yeah.
All right. So what are some of the key things right here, right now, of what it takes to be a real man, according to Larry? According to Larry, the real man.
I started this podcast with my buddy Chris Widener because I see that there's a big gap in our society in teaching young men how to be real men. I think when you look at the statistics, they're over-medicated, and the expectations are very low for young men right now, and nobody's really teaching them or relying on schools to do it. And what it takes to be a real man, first of all, is core values. Real men get the job done. When it comes to their money, they manage their money. When it comes to doing their job, they get the job done because it goes back to commitments, honesty, integrity, those kind of core values. Those aren't the things that we're really teaching people these days.
All right, so I got a secret about you. You happen to be an incredible barbecuer. Where'd you get all that and learn to do that? I mean, that's so different and opposite of really writing books.
That would really be what I enjoy the most is barbecuing. I figured if you're going to learn, you ought to learn from the best. I went to Myron Mixon's backyard. He's the winningest man in the history of barbecue. I had Myron Mixon teach me how to barbecue. I've spoken. Yeah, that's how you do it. If you're going to learn from the best, and that's what I did.
I love it. I love it. And you've been on TV everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're giving a talk to high school seniors.
I wouldn't.
If you were, though, if you were forced to, and if someone forced you to or paid you $1 gazillion to do it.
Then I would do it.
All right. What kind of things would you share with them as they head out into really kind of the real world out there, which there's so many different journeys one can take, for them to be truly successful? And what does success mean?
I would tell them, first of all, to remember the term respect. Respect the people who pay you the money. From this point on, they have the money, so you respect them. You can't disrespect your employer. Then you have to remember whose hand the money comes from. That would be your customer. Show respect to your customer, and we all have customers. All of us do. Show respect for people who know more than you. You believe it or not, when you come out of high school or come out of college, you're not the brightest bulb. There are people who have been here a good long while and they know much more about it. So show respect to those people. I really believe if we were teaching kids, especially high school kids, about that term, respect, and told them exactly what that means. Respect is not parking in a handicapped spot. Respect is not cutting in line. You've got to teach people what really it means to be respectful of other people, of their property, of their ideas, not attack people for their ideas, but respect people's ideas. That's really where it starts. And if we were able to accomplish that, teach people respect, then everybody would be more successful.
All right, Larry, after this, I'm taking you over to my kids' high school. We're going to teach them that.
There you go.
RESPECT. Larry, you inspire and lead people to harness their power, get over their challenges, and look for brighter futures by playing an active role in their lives and striving to be better. Larry Winget, the pit bull of personal development. Go to LarryWinget.com. And when we return, are you ready for this? We're going to learn how to make money from Travis Watts, VP of Investor Relations at Direct Source Wealth. David Kogan with Eliances.